Hello everybody, and welcome to another Vintage Cube video. Pretty weak pack to start here. There's a couple good cards, but none that I love to first pick. So, just based on power level, I would say potentially the best card is Necromancy, or at least I think that this is a great first pick. Reanimation is a great deck, and then specifically this kind of effect, they can hit any creature in any graveyard, is really nice. The restrictions of this, both that it's non-legendary and that it's your graveyard, kind of sucks. You can't just like Thoughtseize their thing and then reanimate that. But I don't really want to take Necromancy and pass Persist. That just doesn't bode well. Someone will take this. We're going to be fighting for Reanimator. That's not a position I want to be in. No fetches or shocks, of course. I do think Utopia Sprawl is actually first pickable. A nice card. You do need a lot of forests, but still, it's a good card. Then there's 3 1-mana removal spells. Also, like Daretti, Urza, Shelldock, all kind of close. But I think I like taking Dismember here. It lets us stay open. It goes into any deck. Yeah, just pretty much every single archetype is interested in a 1-mana instant speed removal spell. And we can see what color looks open. Okay. Pretty weak pack here. There's no, like, just extremely powerful cards. I do think that both of these two are pretty nice for fixing. Troll in particular is really nice with the reanimation cards. So if you turn 1, cycle Troll, turn 2, persist, and you have a 5/4 that's unblockable on turn 2, pretty solid. Also, it is just a good piece of fixing. It's like basically a black fetch land. Ash Barrens is also nice. It can get only basics, but it can get any color, even if you're not playing black. Having Dismember doesn't really, if anything, it probably makes us actually a little bit less inclined to play black because black already has good access to removal. Like if you're playing blue-green, Dismember is so good because it's something that you don't really have access to otherwise. We also could just take Figure of Destiny. I don't love taking cards like this early, but it's very flexible. It's good in either mono red or mono white, but it's pretty likely that one of those two lanes is open. Honestly, I don't think we miss out on much by passing the Troll, especially having just passed a couple of those things. So we'll take this and then see what looks open, but I'm not committed to it at all. Here we do see some red and white cards, but nothing that's super exciting. Based on power level, Subtlety and Grist are probably the best two. Could have taken Troll into Grist. That would have been decent. There's also, a lot of green here. Third pick Llanowar Elves. Maybe we honestly just take that. I'm not inspired by, like, if we saw, like, a third pick Ragavan or Lightning Bolt or Stoneforge Mystic, we would take that and move in that direction. But as is, I kind of think just going for the third pick Llanowar Elves is the move here. Pretty weak pack once again. I mean, again, these two are solid, but not spectacular. And I do love having Dismember and green deck. So we'll see if green is open. We'll see. Not a great pack here. Well, so Kiki-Jiki is the best card in this pack. Um, yeah, I mean, there are tons of talismans. That's kind of funny. Kiki doesn't pair with anything that we have right now, but it is kind of a sign to see it going fourth pick. If we had a 1-mana dork, I would take that and be very happy, but Lotus Cobra is quite a bit worse in my opinion. I don't really want to take Thespian Stage. We could take Phyrexian Revoker if we want to keep open the aggro possibility. Hmm. I'm gonna go for the high upside pick of Kiki-Jiki. I know we're like very scattered right now. We're sort of searching for direction, and then once we decide the open lane, we can move in. But it's early enough that we can still be somewhat in flux. But okay, so green looked really open from that pack, but I don't think it actually is. Only one green card that's Nissa doesn't look amazing here. Let's take a Faithless Looting. Faithless Looting is phenomenal, very, very powerful. It's great in basically any red deck. It's even better if we're comboing. There's Kolaghan Command as well, Wasteland, but I think I like taking the looting here. Okay, so we could try to move into blue-red twin potentially. A lot of black-white in this pack, of course. Not the best. Um, hmm. Don't think I want to take Talisman or Crop Rotation. I think it's basically Godless Shrine or Daze. If we want to try to go like blue-red twin or just go like Mardu, because we think that's the open lane. Hmm. I'm kind of leaning towards the Daze though. I do think best case scenario is if Twin is open. Daze is also a good card. It is just more powerful than any of these other cards. I really like Daze in this format. Yeah, we'll go for that. Okay, so it's looking like weird draft so far. Definitely haven't gotten super consistent signals. Inferno Titan is okay. I think I like taking Scrapwork Mutt. There's like Raffellos, but I don't think I want to be mono green. I think we take the Mutt and then set up. We could go into a red aggressive deck if that looks super open, or Twin, or maybe even a combination of the two. Scrapwork Mutt will be good in either build. Also, if we like end up backdooring into some, I don't want to take Corpse Dance there, but if we backdoor into some sort of Reanimator deck, we could play Black Red Reanimator, and Mutt and Looting are both good enablers for that. Now we see the Garruk pack, but I think I like taking Unmarked Grave speculatively. You already have that sweet, sweet value of putting Scrapwork Mutt or Faithless Looting into the yard. Yeah, let's take this. Okay, Duretti Wield. So did Tireless Tracker, but I think we go into Rakdos. Hope it would be awesome if Kolaghan's Command came around. Yeah, I'll take Duretti. Solid pickup. Worth noting though that actually, so we're not playing this. I think almost definitely. We saw both Persist and Necromancy be taken there. So let's take Dark Confidant. So we might end up being like a black-red aggressive deck. Now we can take a Mind Collapse, which is a nice pickup. It'd be awesome if Kolaghan's Command wheeled, but I'm not too optimistic about that. Do we want Creeping Tar Pit or Thespian Stage? I think Tar Pit. There's a world where we want Splash Blue. We could also play the Dark Depths combo, but I'm not too high on that combo in general. Alright, weird first pack, but we have a direction now. May or may not be twinning. And it also remains to be seen how aggressive we are. But a decent start. It is too bad that we probably won't see the Kolaghan's Command on the wheel. Best card we could get here would probably, I mean, well, like Black Lotus, I guess, or Mox. The best non-power card would probably be Ragavan. Um, let's open the possibility of being like a Mardu aggro deck. If we get like all super late white cards here, that could be an interesting direction to pivot into. We did pass a Mardu land earlier, I think. Or maybe that was Abzan. Now we don't see much for that. I guess we'll take Elesh Norn and last pick Horizon Canopy. Okay. Kind of a weird first pack. Not the best start, honestly. We do have some pretty powerful things, but and we have like, yeah, it's not a bad start, but I would like to get a little bit more cohesion, deciding if we're going to be twinning, if we're going to be aggro, or if we're going to be like a sort of mid-range slash controlling deck. And obviously we do have a lot of cards we're not playing, which is not great. Obviously, best case scenario is like every single card is in your colors. The Llanowar Elves pick was maybe wasted. Like, yeah, I guess the problem is there was a couple different decks we were potentially trying to draft, and I think we decide like that's okay. You can do that in the first pick and pack and still have enough room. But and now we see Entomb, man, but we have Entomb and Unmarked Grave, but not the other stuff. I don't think we go in that direction. I think we just play black red at this point. Like all that reanimation stuff was getting taken. I don't think we're likely to get that much here. So even though this is like an extremely powerful card, we're not going to go for it here. I think we're going to take Bone Crusher Giant, which is a really good card, just powerful, interactive. There's Wheel of Fortune too, which is kind of interesting. If we could get Orcish Bowmasters or Sheoldred, then Wheel of Fortune would be really good. Maybe it's worth going for that. The thing is, those cards are high pickups for everyone. It's not too easy to just like get a late Orcish Bowmasters. There's also Watery Grave if we wanted to splash. Kind of funny that both Teferis are here. I think Bone Crusher Giant is the correct pick, though. I don't think we're doing combos. And this is good in a hyper-aggressive deck or in a more mid-range deck. If we get past Orcish Bowmasters, I'll regret that pick, but I'll also still be happy. Okay, this fetch land does not really help us, probably. Could take Library of Alexandria, actually. Could take Underworld Breach. Could take Reckless Stormseeker, which I actually think is potentially good in this deck. I think I actually like taking Library here. Yeah, Library of Alexandria is super powerful, and if we end up with a low curve, which we're looking like we will, then that's perfect sort of deck for this. Ooh, okay, I think I gotta take Lava Claw Reaches over Smuggler's Copter. I do love Copter in general and in this deck, but I think we still need to take some fixing here. We have no fixing. That's gonna be important. Yeah. I'm not too worried about playables. We didn't get a million playables in pack one, but we're still at a pretty good clip for that. Probably not playing Kiki Jiki. I mean, I would love to play Kiki Jiki, but that would require splashing a color. It also could like I actually think it's possible to have a deck where it's right to play Kiki Jiki even if you're not all in on comboing, but it's rare. You need to have like lots of good end of the battlefield effects. Okay, pretty easy Bloodstained Mire here. Goblin Engineer putting Scrapwork Mutt into the graveyard is like a thing. If that wheeled, maybe we would play it, but definitely taking the Mire. Nice pickup. Okay. Emrakul, not really where we're going here, unfortunately. There is Imperial Recruiter if we want to keep open the possibility of twinning. Could also take Bitter Reunion or Knight's Whisper. I think I like taking Knight's Whisper here and then trying to wheel one of these two red cards. This is setting us up to be a little bit more of a mid-rangey deck, which I'm fine with. We should note that we're paying a lot of life between Dark Confidant, Dismember, and Knight's Whisper. So that's worth noting, but I think it's okay. Yeah, we should be able to wheel one of these two red cards. And Knight's Whisper is great. This is like just raw card draw, something that this color combination can struggle with. Okay, Scrubland is kind of interesting if we want to splash white, but we don't have that much pulling us in that direction. No Lingering Souls. We're not really a recurring Nightmare deck. Let's just take a Fatal Push, which is actually a great pickup. Our removal is surprisingly lacking given our color combination. Ooh, and as I say that, we get past the best removal in the format, kind of. Tinker's great, late Tinker, but we're not going to be tinkering for Coveted Jewel this league. We'll be taking Fire Covenant. Alright, so let's think about strengths and weaknesses now. I think about this point in the draft is a good time to assess that and adjust our pick order accordingly. Having just gotten Push and Fire Covenant, our removal is looking good. We have Push, Dismember, Stomp, Fire Covenant, and Mind Collapse. We're doing pretty well in card draw. Dark Confidant and Knight's Whisper, Faithless Looting are all good card draw, and then Scrapwork Mutt does help a little bit with that as well. So does Library. Our fixing's decent. We have two types of fixing. The two things we're missing are like good threats. We have some solid threats, but we need better threats, and we also want to get some ways to disrupt their hand. Thoughts of Use being the best, but lots of stuff would be good. I think it's a pretty easy Torok here, actually. This could be pretty nice. Just jamming this on turn 2 doesn't look great with our relatively low amount of discard, but this is a combo with Wheel of Fortune, actually. That's kind of fun. And then just kicking it is great in a lot of matchups. So pretty happy to get that. Wow, pains me to see Teferi going so late. That is not what we're doing here. Interesting that they took the other Teferi over this one. So, okay, is Voldaren Epicure good? It's kind of just a weak card. It does help with our curve. The Blood Token gives us a little consistency. It's kind of weak, but I don't think I care that much about Chromatic Star, so I will take this, and we'll see how our final build looks. Okay, Fiery Islet, not bad. Just adds a little consistency and prevents Mana Flood. And then also will sometimes, or like could potentially help us splash like some blue stuff. Okay, I don't think Lotus Field helps this deck. This is good with balance, but we don't have balance. We'll take a Burgi, which I would prefer not to play in the main deck, but we could. Okay, Goblin Engineer, unless, weirdly, I actually think it's Revelark. Goblin Engineer is just not that good, and Revelark could be good if we end up splashing white and going for the twin combo, which, again, I don't think is particularly likely, but could get there. And Revelark for Kiki is awesome. Like, Revelark can bring back Kiki Jiki and Pestermite and just, like, be a one-card combo. That would require splashing 2 colors, though, so not that likely. Alright, pack 3. Not a great pack to start. Karakas is probably the best card here. Could take Mox Diamond. Could take Dragon's Rage Channeler. Could take Shieldred Edict. Could take Expressive Iteration or Ledger Shredder if we think about a blue splash, which is not looking terrible right now. We have 2 free blue sources, and it shouldn't be too hard to get a land that we can find with the Bloodstained Mire. That would also help this deck. Like, that gives it, like, if we're trying to play sort of mid-rangey plan, then having a bit more card draw would help a lot. Then we should almost like Grixis control at that point. Yeah, honestly, I think I like that plan. I don't think this is like we're not really in a good position to just be like an aggressive black-red deck so far. Someone's clearly playing mono-red. Yeah, let's take Expressive Iteration. Doing some Grixis action. Now we see Blackleaf Cliffs versus Firebolt. Both are pretty good. Um, hmm. Let's take the Cliffs. I think we'll be able to get enough playables. We're a little light on playables now, but I really like having access to good fixing. Ooh, I want to be able to play Seasoned Dungeoneer, but we just don't have House to splash white, really. And it's kind of too late to make that move at this point. So let's just take, I think, Burst Lightning, and then we'll one of these 3 black cards. Yeah, I think that's a solid plan. Okay, there's the Pestermite. So, do we go for the twin combo? I think I'll take this. I don't care too much about Grim Lavamancer or, like, Damnation. Yeah, we'll take this. And then hopefully get one more twin piece. There's Restoration Angel. Oh, man. How deep are we going to go? That means we're splashing white also, and we don't even really have... Yeah, that's too greedy, unfortunately. I wish we could pull it off, but we can't. Interestingly, though, we could take Agatha's Soul Cauldron. It's very good with Kiki Jiki. It doesn't really do much with any of our other cards, though, unfortunately. Can we play Zerda? We'd have to cut Dark Confidant and Torok, and... Yeah, no, we can't do that. Let's just take the Mind Twist. Also, Fallen Shinobi's good, but I think Mind Twist is the pick. Yeah, good card. I shouldn't be complaining about that. Ooh, okay, so there's a Splinter Twin. That does not combo with Pestermite, notably, or with Restoration Angel, so we didn't miss out on anything there. But I will take this. There's a chance we could get a late Deceiver Exarch. I probably won't play this otherwise if we don't get the Deceiver Exarch. The other option would be Mana Confluence, but let's take this. Ooh, a late Badlands. Love it. That's great. I would actually prefer a blue fetchable land, but still pretty happy to get this. So now our black-red fixing is good. Our blue fixing is not good, but I think it is still worth it to splash Pestermite in the Expressive Iteration. I don't think we want to play Daze. I don't think we want to play Unmarked Grave. Voldaren Epicure seems kind of weak. Actually, this could be a decent deck for Burgi. Typically at its best in combo decks. Okay, do we want Infernal Grasp, Kaito, or Life Death? Life Death would let us bring back our combo if they broke it up, although it's kind of just a weak card. I think I'd rather just take another good removal spell, unless we do want a Kaito for more card draw. We have good removal, actually. I think we can take a Kaito here. So I think we're not going to play Splinter Twin with just Pestermite, because it really doesn't work with anything else in this deck. We don't have, like, Seasoned Pyromancer or Vendilion Click. Yeah, this seems fine. So, this is probably 17 lander, so we need 4 more spells. If the draft ended right now, I guess we play Epicure. Charming Scoundrel, this card just seems so weak. A Wicked Roll token, maybe not. Actually, no, it's fine. Like, a 1/1 with haste that when it dies, it comes back as a 2/2 and hits them for 1. It's at least okay in certain matchups. Ooh, okay, I'd much rather be playing Dragon's Rage Chandler, though. We don't have a ton of... We have a relatively high creature count for a Chandler deck, but I think it's still the right pick over Rolling Earthquake. Earthquake is solid, but we're good on removal. Yeah, and I like keeping curve low. We could play Twin. We passed an Imperial Recruiter in Pack 1 that I would really love to have now. I definitely don't think Daze is correct to play here. Yeah, this deck has some issues, honestly. I don't think it's that good. It definitely has potential. We'll have good draws. We're going to be like... We have a low curve. All that stuff is good, but I think it is just like kind of underpowered. We also don't have any ways to use the graveyard, so I'm kind of looking at this Yawgmoth's Will. Could also take Dam or Phantasmal Image, or Char. I actually like taking Yawgmoth's Will, though. We will be filling up our graveyard fairly quickly, and this is a good way to just get some value in the late game. Also a way to potentially recur Kiki. That's very mana intensive, but if they kill our Pestermite, then we can get it back. I do really, really wish we could play this Revel Arc. Maybe there will be a way we could make that happen. Here we see like Talisman tempting us. Could also take Phyrexian Dragon Engine. We didn't end up taking the Goblin Engineer. But honestly, this card still seems decent. Yeah, let's take this. Okay, I think we're playing a Vault Sleeper here. Okay, we'll take Zerda. Bloodthirsty Adversary, these are actually both cards we could potentially play. I think Adversary is a bit better for curve purposes. So, okay, in the end, our curve is amazing. We have lots of removal and cheap and a cheap curve, so in that sense our deck is quite good. We don't have like broken cards is the problem. Okay, so we need to make 2 cuts. I think it's Bergie, maybe Yawgmoth's Will. We just bring it in the slower matchups. So we're like we're an aggressive deck with a low curve and a lot of disruption that also plays this twin combo. The combo is a little dicey. There's an argument for cutting it, but it does give a nice angle of attack, and we also are not exactly brimming with other good playables. So I think I will run it like this. Let's sort by color. So we're a little bit heavier on red, but it's close. So if we did this, that gives us 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 red, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 black, 1, 2, 3 blue. I think I'm going to roll with 9. It's not ideal, but I think we need a 4th blue to splash these cards, these 3 cards. Yeah, the meta's not perfect, but it's not terrible either. We do have a decent number of duels. Yeah, so I think a lot of our best draws will be Library of Alexandria draws, where we go like turn 1 Library, draw, turn 2, like kill your thing, draw, turn 3, like Channeler, kill your thing, draw. Like we have the low curve to just like keep pace with the board. Our problems are we don't have the fastest clock, and decks can potentially go over the top of us if we don't curve out well. So we'll try to be able to curve out well, and also we'll hope to play against creature decks. We'll be much, much stronger against creature decks than like Storm or Reanimator, things like that. See you in round 1. Alright, round 1. We're on the draw, unfortunately, but our hand is great. We do have an interesting decision as early as the first turn of Channeler versus Creeping Tar Pit on turn 1. I really want to play Dark Confidant on turn 2, so I think if we don't... Okay, well, that makes it a little easier. We'll just play both now. Great draw. Potentially the best draw on the deck, actually. Strip Mine, but they don't use it. I'm pretty happy to see that. Alright, so we're just going to jam our Confidant and pass. Now, if they strip mine, they're ahead on mana, they can strip mine us and still be at 3 mana and whatnot. I think that's fine. I kind of would prefer... Okay, interesting. They still don't kill our land. Oof. Okay. That's a painful flip there. I think I'm just gonna take this out. So I don't really want to do a huge Fire Confluence here, especially having just flipped, or Fire Covenant, having just flipped a 5-drop. That's kind of unlucky. I think that's our only 5-drop in the deck. I'm gonna get a little greedy and graveyard this to try and dig towards Pestermite, and also dig towards Delirium. But we have paid a lot of life, of course, which is a little dicey. Next turn with Faithless Looting, we should be able to get Delirium and start swinging for 5. Okay. Jace the Mind Sculptor. A plus, interesting. So we could go down to 1 land and Mind Collapse that Jace. That's a little dicey because it means we're obviously at 1 land. Honestly, tempting though. We'll see what we flip. Bloodthirsty Adversary. Okay, never mind. Then let's just kill the Jace with combat damage. Yeah. Could also go face, but I think it is worth it to take this Jace off the table. We'll get Tarpon into play and pass turn. Next turn we can go... Oh, we have a lot of options next turn. Titania, bring back Strip Mine. That's good. It's not like super terrible, but it's not great. So take out our creeping tar pit, make another 5/3. Then we're gonna need to probably sack a land here. Well, we could also just take a turn off and play Duretti. Yeah, that's probably better actually. Let's play Duretti. We get a Surveil, which is nice. Still digging towards Pestermite. Don't think we want another mountain, even though they do keep on strip mining us. Plus and pass. And now we'll see if they have like another way to recur strip mine. We'll fall behind this titanium pretty quickly. But my guess is they won't be able to make another 5/3 this turn. Famous last words. Well, that's actually very niche last words. I don't know how many people have actually had that be their last words. Okay, starting with cracking a clue is best case scenario. Into Sentinel of the Nameless City. Don't care too much about that. It is a little bit beefy. Alright, they get to draw a forest. Fair enough. We can kill their Titania. I don't think they'll attack. Oh, interesting. Even more interesting. If they attack like this, I'll double block with Bloodthirsty Adversary in the construct. Yeah, that's kind of weird. Like, now we do lose our artifact, but we get to, that means we can plus Duretti. Yeah, weird attack. Okay, getting low on life. That's there's a chance we'll have to kill off our own Dark Confidant at some point, but I don't think we have to do that yet. Let's plus. And honestly, I think I'm gonna play Kaito and just start drawing cards. Oh, we might get Delirium here. In which case we could plus in that would, oh, interesting. How much are we on the find Pestermite plan? I think we're kind of in on it. I think I want to just be digging. Okay. We'll pass, and assuming they attack, are going to block with Dark Confidant. Long way away from kicking Torok. We have played 3 black lands, but they've killed 2 of them. Interesting game. There's been a lot of different directions we could go this game. Definitely not 100% sure we've picked the right one. So they're going us with both. They make their other map token. Let's take this off the board and then jump here. Or do we go to 4 actually? It's fine to go to 4 here. Oh, wait. They can explore though. Oh man. If they have so they can use this map token to potentially grow this to be a 6/4. Yeah, I think unfortunately we need to block like this. We can't afford to not kill the elemental here. Oh. Well, was not expecting that. And exploration. Well, that may be a problem. Because next turn they can just drop their 3/4 vigilance, and we might have to mind collapse it, and then we're just so far behind. Discard island. This, we need to discard 2 more. Do one of the mountains, and I think looting. Man, great. They didn't even have to discard a card to hand size. Yeah, we're in pretty bad shape here. We can, Yeah, I think we have to mind collapse this, as terrible as it is. Well, actually, maybe not. Maybe we just go for chump blocking. Because next turn we can ready to kill it, and putting ourselves back to land is quite bad here. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for this. And then we're just going to try to chump block the Sentinel. They get to make another map token. Put our odds at probably double digits, but only just. Upheaval is a good card to know about. That definitely changes the way you have to play a lot. Tamiyo, Collector of Tails on top, so they're setting up to upheaval again, potentially. So we can kill their Sentinel with Duretti, which I think we're just going to do. Oh, man. Alright, I'll concede. It's not technically game over, but... Well, maybe I should have kept fighting. I don't know. They're going to play Duretti. Yeah, we were going to lose that game, but it was not 0%. It's fine. Do we want to make any changes here against blue-green dudes? We are more in on the combo. I think I might want to bring in this. Of course, it helps if we can find the Pastormite, which we didn't there. But I think we want to be comboing against a deck that has little removal. Like Torok seems kind of bad. At 4 mana, it's decent, but just the 2/1 side is not impressive. I do think I like the removal. Might cut Figure of Destiny. That's just not really what this game is about. Alright, on the play. That helps. Library of Alexandria. That helps too. They do have Strip Mine in their deck. Hopefully they don't Strip Mine us on turn 1. Opponent's down to 5. But if they Strip Mine our library, our hand is pretty bad. I guess it's not terrible because iteration can help us find more action. Okay, normally you don't want exploration when you're on a mulligan. This probably signifies either that they top deck that, or that they're bad, or that they have like some sort of draw 7 or upheaval or something like that. Okay, I think I will actually play Faithless Looting here. Try to find a way to interact next turn. I think I'm fine discarding 2 swamps. Pass. The only card that makes us want to have a bunch of swamps is Torok, and we don't have that. Okay, Sylvan Library is pretty good for them. We might just want to play Bloodthirsty Adversary to get some pressure. Yeah, let's just get this down. Oh. A little bit of sloppy play there. We probably should have dropped the island in case we want to play Expressive Iteration next turn, although I think it's fairly unlikely we go for Iteration. We'll probably be using at least one of our removal spells next turn, and we'll also get 2 more draws to find something proactive. Of course, we can still play Expressive Iteration next turn, but it's not great. Like, you typically want to play Iteration before you play your land. Okay, Sentinel of the Nameless City. That's fine. And they Strip Mine our library. Still fine. Interesting draw. We're still going to go for Dismember this turn, though. And I think we're in a solid spot. We hit them down to 10 here. One of their lands hurts them. We have Burst Lightning, which can deal 4 damage in our hand. We can also kill one of their creatures, and they're pretty far away from anything huge. They only have 4 mana. It's far from over, but I'm feeling good about this position. I guess what we don't really want to see here is if they had the Titania, they could put 10 power into play and Strip Minus again. Okay, Tireless Tracker is less scary. Okay, so there's a couple ways we could go here. I think the best bet is just to Fire Covenant, take this out so we can keep on attacking and save our burn that goes upstairs. They can grow this power only once. They can do it with a clue, but they can't activate the clue on the map, so we can safely just pay 3 life. Oh, I almost paid it for 1. That would have been embarrassing. Alright. So far, Fire Covenant's been funnily bad, but it is a great card, even though it hasn't looked super impressive here. So we get they crack the clue in response, which doesn't matter. They should honestly crack the map in response, because they won't be able to do it later if they don't do it now. Or they concede. Okay. To be fair, we were on the play and they mulled a 5 and we had library, so we should have won that one. Now it's the hard one on the draw. I like that we have a lot of removal when we're on the draw. I don't want Figure of Destiny. Honestly, I don't really want Evolved Sleeper either. Could play Charming Scoundrel to give some card selection and mana. It's kind of just a weak card though. I don't think Daze is... Well, actually, maybe Daze is decent. No. On the draw, I think it's probably not good. Let's bring in Birdie, I think. Nah, let's just play the Sleeper. It's fine. It's probably good to be on the aggressive side. I will still keep the Splinter's Window. We obviously didn't draw either half of the combo there, but against decks that can't interact, combos are good. Alright, love this hand. Very interactive. 2 removal spells, a discard spell, some card selection. Oh no, this can't get blue, so we actually don't have all our colors, but that's fine. No blue mana, but no blue cards. Okay, let's just play around the Strip Mine because we can. And I think this only gets basics at this point. Okay, do we want to play Scrapwork Mutt next turn? I think so. I think I like establishing a threat. So if I'm going to be exposing lands, I'll just crack this because I don't really want to draw a basic here. We do have triple red and triple black, technically. I guess I'll get... We're far away from wanting to cast Kiki. I guess I'll get... Yeah, it doesn't really matter, but I'll get this. Channeler, interesting. Okay, I'll play that first. I was planning on playing the Scrapwork Mutt, but I think I'd rather get the Channeler down. Mutt we can save, because right now we kind of like all the cards in our hand. We get to pass with Dismember up. True Name Nemesis, okay. So do we want to Mind Twist them for 2 here? I think I will. We could wait a turn, but this decreases the chances of them doing something relevant next turn. I think we want to stop that. Okay, I like drawing Iteration. Let's keep that. Augur of Autumn and Green Sun Zenith. Okay, there's a cards that they were interested in playing this turn, so I guess that's nice. We'll pass. Next turn we can go Iteration into Stomp, probably. Interesting. They don't want to race. I feel like they should probably be racing here. So we'll Iteration. I'll Graveyard that. It's a nice little additional value. Okay. Interesting. I think I like the idea of holding up Stomp or playing Scrapwork Mutt, like using my mana here. So I don't want to play Lava Claw Reaches. In that case, do we just bottom the Lava Claw or do we take it into our hand? I think we take it into our hand. We have lots of mana, so we'll go hand, bottom, exile, and we'll play land. We cannot get Delirium here, unfortunately, so we'll just play the Mutt, discard Swamp. There's the Kiki, okay. We'll pass back. Good card selection there. See, like, Iteration saw us 4 cards. We overall saw 6 cards on that turn. Which is why I think it's fine to play the twin combo, even though we don't have any tutors or like redundant pieces. Yet, with that being said, we have not drawn Pestermite yet in any of the games. Okay, honestly, I think we jam Kiki Jiki here, weirdly. They don't have that much removal, and this just lets us get more value with Scrapwork Mutt. So we can discard probably close between Lava Claw Reaches and Creeping Tar Pit. Okay, don't care too much about a Garruk. If they minus, which is the most likely, then we can just stomp it. I think a Tar Pit's actually better than Lava Claw Reaches here. Additionally, because it gives us a second blue source, so we can still have blue mana even if they take out one of them. Kaito, interesting. So, Unfortunately, we can't play Kaito and stomp their thing. So let's just go Creeping Tar Pit, Stomp Garruk. Oh, I missed out on a sort of cool little synergy. We'll graveyard that. That stops True Name Nemesis from having protection from everything. Funny. Does that change anything? Not really. I mean, we could dismember the beast, but I think that's just not worth it. So we'll just cast this and pass. Unless we want to get Delirium here, but I don't think we do. Actually, how does it look if we attack with everything? If we were to make another Scrapwork Mutt, discard Kaito, Mind Collapse the Beast, we could attack for 9. Then we lose our Mind Collapse and our Kaito, though. And a land. But we take a pretty solid advantage on the board. We also have Creeping Tar Pit to pressure. I think that's not worth it, though. It's very close. But I think it's fine to sit back here. Especially, like, I just don't want to discard Kaito. I'd rather just play Kaito next turn. Really close. Yeah, let's just pass. Let me know in the comments for sure if you think it's better to get aggressive and swing for 9 and like take out their beast or to sit back. I just don't think that's really the plan here. Like they have this Restless Cottage, the beatdown plan. Like it works kind of that one turn because we played the stomp, but really, and also we would have wanted to do it before they saw what we had. Okay, so let's loot away. I think Mind Collapse actually, which is not even that bad. But I just want to find Pestermite. Okay, we're just gonna keep on digging. We do now have Delirium, so whenever we deal damage to a player, we can return it to our hand and then activate this twice. So let's draw a card. Slight mistap actually then, but it's fine. Get in there for 3. Then we'll use the Kaito ability. My first time using it actually. It's kind of sweet. So we're just gonna draw another card. Okay. Did we play land this turn? No, we don't. It's fine if we don't play land though. So I'm just gonna replay the Channeler, pass. This True Name Nemesis is really stabilizing the board for them, but we're still just like in a phenomenal position. You can see we've gone through 25 cards. They've gone through 13. They could just upheaval, which would be annoying. Actually, that would be quite annoying, honestly. We just like, then it just resets. They don't have, it's just like the game restarts, but they are on the play. And obviously, I guess our Channeler would be Delirious immediately, so that's a slight benefit. Titania, okay. Yeah, we need to make some moves here, actually. We need to start doing something. I forgot that they had Upheaval. That actually fundamentally changes how we need to be playing this game. At least we know they're not drawing it next turn. Okay, this is great. I get why they're going for it, but we're going to be able to punish them pretty well. So let's go end of turn. Fatal Push the Beast. Night's Whisper is one of the few cards I'll actually keep here. And then I think I'm just going to make a Bone Crusher Giant to push max damage. I'm going to start with Night's Whisper. In case we just find Pestermite and win. Okay, let's dismember this. Torok, I think I'm graveyarding that too. It's not a bad draw, but like, we have one card that we're looking for. We've gone through 30 cards. Let's play this tapped, make another copy of... Okay, we can make another Bone Crusher, hit for 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 7. Oh, we actually just had lethal on the board. Nice, big attack. Okay, weird match. Kind of surprised we're able to win, but I guess, yeah, solid. Kiki Jakey just for value. Solid play. See you in round 2. Alright, Azkuza is our opponent in round 2, and we are on the play, and we have a good hand. Do we want to mutt something away on turn 2? Probably not. We don't really know what we need. I mean, best case scenario is we draw like Faithless Looting, and we can just mutt that away for value. But if we don't draw something bad, we'll probably pass with Bone Crusher Giant up. Oh, we might just be stomping on turn 1 anyways. I was hoping for Dragon Tree Speaker. The dream against Mono Green is that they sink their 2 mana on turn 2 into a Dragon Tree Speaker and you can just blow them out. Do we want to set up for a turn 2 or turn 3 iteration? I don't think so. I think we're most likely going to want to be saving that for later. So I'm just going to get our Badlands and stomp this. And this means we can save a few points of life. In general, you don't want to play this until you have to, because it means you have to pay. Like, we're going to be curving out. We'll use all of our mana every turn for the foreseeable future. So if we play this, we're just going to be taking like 5 damage off of it. Oh, wow. No turn 2 play. That's great news for us, of course. Let's just get this Bone Crusher Giant into play. And then next turn, I'm considering going for a Mind Twist. Oh, interesting. So they can't do anything with that yet. Mind Collapse, not going to use that here. So could Mind Twist them. The thing is, I don't really want to use this Mud. And I also don't really want to play to not use the ability, but I think I will just to put the 2-1 into play and just choose no here. I think I want the Sleeper. I definitely want these 2. I think I also want the Mind Collapse. If they don't hit the land here, they will probably concede. And it looks like they didn't. I think if they did, they would just be slamming it. Pretty lucky for us to play against back-to-back green decks. Alright, so let's level this guy up. Then they're going to discard a card. We're going to... If we draw land... Oh, they just concede. Okay. Kind of nice that they didn't see the Mind Twist, actually. That does slightly change how they play. Turns out removal spells are good against green decks. Once again, I'm not too into... I know we won that game with, like, aggressive creatures, but I think this is a better plan. Love all the removal. I love all the card selection, card draw. Bloodthirsty Adversary seems fine. Yeah, let's run it like this. Okay, great hand. No removal spells, actually, which is a pretty big deal against green decks, but Channeler into Dark Confidant against a deck with no removal is a great start. That'll hopefully dig us towards Fire Covenant. Yeah, I just love how all of our creatures are cheap and decent bodies, and they also provide some form of card selection. Nice draw. If they play Rofellos, we will have to turn off for Burst Lightning, but I would love to be able to play Dark Confidant. Even if they played like Lotus Cobra, I think I would let them have the mana, which is risky, but getting Dark Confidant into play on turn 2 is so helpful against decks with no creature removal. Green Suns for 1, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna let them untap with this, even if it's Draga Tree Speaker. Yeah, so let's go swing. If they want to trade, I'm happy with that exchange. I can't imagine they will, though. Right? Dark Confidant. And now we'll see. Scary turn. They have 4 mana. Um, we'll see what they're able to do with it. Gaia's Cradle, okay. Into Oracle of Mul Daya. That's one of the least bad things that they could have done, honestly. Ooh, especially with no land, and they're not drawing a land next turn. This is great. Okay, so let's play this, discarding a mountain. Another good draw. I think I'm going to take out the Oracle. Yeah. Definitely don't want that at this point. So we'll hit for 3. And then next turn we're set up to go Kaito, and we can get some nice value going. Next turn we get, so they probably can't make a real play this turn. I mean, whatever they do is going to be worse than Oracle, because we know that they have the same amount of mana as last turn. Okay, so Kura Tribe Elder into Sylvan. Fair enough. That's not a bad line. Let's see what we flip off this Bob. Oh man, helping us out. So, if we Kaito, we can't Dismember, which is pretty bad. I really, it takes them off of 2 mana to Dismember here. But at the same time, we could draw 2 cards off of Kaito. Close decision. I don't like the idea of giving them tons of mana. I think it's still worth it to play Kaito, though. Because our hand kind of sucks. Like, if we just sit back and hit for like 2 or 4 a turn, that's not really going to be enough. Interesting. I think I'm going to graveyard this. It's not bad, but we can't kick it next turn. And by the time we get to the turn after that, like, it's going to be a little bit past that card's time to shine. I think I would rather just be drawing cards here. Another good draw. So which one of these cards do we want to return to our hand? I think just Channeler, just for mana efficiency. Uh, no, let's do the Mud actually, because there's a good chance we can get Delirious. Yeah, I'm just gonna draw another card. Man, I was hoping to find Pestermite. It's kind of crazy that we do have it in the main deck, right? We've really been churning through our deck every game. We've gone through half of our deck yet again, but still no Pestermite. Last game we got down to like the bottom 10 cards. Big turn here. When we untap, we can remove all their creatures probably, and they'll like shrink the Gaia's Cradle and all that. But this is a key moment. Kaito's been decent so far. Came in and immediately drew 2 cards. The other 2 abilities are pretty bad. I honestly think this is like primarily good for the draw card ability. Okay, so it looks like they're gonna play their Nissa, which I don't love. We cannot kill it, probably. Oh, that's also a 6/6, but we can shut it down with Kaito. Confidant still has not dealt us any damage. Kind of funny. So we have a few options. We could play and kick Intrepid Adversary. That's kind of interesting. Actually, that would let us have exactly enough to kill their thing. But it would mean we're taking fewer of their creatures off the board. I think that still might be the line, though. Taking this off the board seems like a pretty high priority here. So we'll go Swamp, Intrepid Adversary, pay 3 one time, kill Kinnan, get a little Surveil. Ooh. Yeah, let's keep that on top. We have tons of action in our hand at this point, so that's one thing to note. But so this creature can't attack or block until my next turn. Oh wait, they're at 7. Holy cow! How did I not realize that? Okay, let's just put them to 1 then. Yeah, they get Nissa for 1 more turn, but then we can just kill them on our next turn. So they need to kill us this turn, which I don't think they'll be able to do. I guess while we're at it, we might as well do this. We can return. I think actually Dark Confidant, weirdly, there's a slim chance they could like Crater Hoof us, and then the damage actually matters. And then we'll just make another dude. So when this creature leaves the battlefield, there's a trigger on the stack that will kill them. So we'll go to discard, pitch a swamp, it's fine. What a hand. We've used all of our mana every single turn, and we're still discarding cards to hand size on turn 6. So this can't attack. It would be very hard for them to Crater Hoof us here. They do have a ton of mana, so they could upheaval us. But then with them being at 1, I think that's just fine. Like we can play Channeler, and that's like a lethal attack on turn 1. We have a lethal burn spell on turn 2. Oh wait, this trigger would also just kill them when it leaves the battlefield. So there's not really any way around that. They need to kill us. So even like some sort of weird Emrakul shenanigans, we wouldn't even care because the Annihilator trigger would kill them. I think we should be in a good position. Man, I thought this deck was kind of bad, but it's felt good. It is just so true that having a low curve, using your mana every turn, and having lots of interaction is a great place to be. Granted, the interaction of removal spells is good in both of the matchups we've played. So if we played against a hard control deck, we don't have discard or counter magic. That's the kind of interaction you need there. But against any deck where removal spells are good, which is most decks actually. Like, hard control is not nearly as popular as it used to be, and neither is hard combo. I feel like I don't see that much Storm these days. I don't even see that much blue-white control. There's a lot more, like, and that's for a few reasons. The biggest one is that threats have just become better, and when threats are really good, you want to play threats. So there's a lot of, like, tempo or, like, mid-range or more aggressive decks. Okay, looks like they do have Crater Hoof. Weird that they sacked the Llanowar Elves. I don't know if they realized that this card can't attack. They also might have life gain. Like if they have Titan of Industry. Yeah, there we go. So they're going to go back up to 6 life. This also has reach. Yeah, that's pretty bad, honestly. Because now Nissa's threatening to ultimate as well. Yeah, that's bad. That's actually quite bad. Because they just have huge creatures. It would be really helpful if we could get Delirium, which we can do. We can put them to 1 this turn. And then we won't die unless they have, yeah, do you think we need to get Delirium? So let's play this iteration. Huh. Don't need that. That gives us Delirium, though, without, like, immediately, without us having to jump through any hoops. Ooh, interesting. So Mind Collapse doesn't look too good, but Mind Twist. Are we stomping though? We don't need to stomp here unless. Oh no. We do need to deal with this Nissa. Because if they ultimate, they will be able to kill us. If they give all their creatures +3/3 and trample, we can't win. So. Hmm. Weird situation. So if they. We can kill them if they block. Wait, no. Wait, we should just be able to kill them, right? Because we can attack with the drone. Yeah, I think that should be lethal. So let's just go. Um, Hand, bottom, exile. And then the question is, do we want to play around them having a counterspell as one of their last two cards? I think we might as well. So let's go. You can't attack. You can't block. We will mind twist them for one, just in case they have a counterspell. I mean, this is bad if they have a daze, and we hit their non-daze. Chandler has been an MVP all league so far. Lorien revealed, okay. And then we attack, and this should be lethal. So they can't block with this. They can block this, but then when it dies, it deals them 2. So this hits them to 3. This puts them to 1, and the stomp kills them. Unless their last card is a counterspell. And if their last card is a counterspell, we lose. They can ultimate this. They have 3 forests. That would be 10, 16. Yeah, that would be way more damage than they need. Actually, that's not true. We can mind collapse the Nissa. Okay, they take it, go to 1. Oh, they actually just died from this Kaito thing. We don't even. Yeah, that was a bad no block here because we get to just return this, hit them for 2, and we win with a free Kaito trigger. Sweet. All right, 2-0. See you in the finals. All right, on the play for the finals, just like we like it, and this hand looks great. We'll keep. We have old school Night's Whisper and new school Night's Whisper. Opponent's on a mulligan. Things are looking good. We don't have like a one drop, but this is a great hand. Like turn 3 to ready on the play is nice piece of interaction. Mind collapse if we need it. Questions? I think I'll play Bloodstained Mire on turn 1 and play around Strip Mine. Like unlikely to matter, but might as well. And then we could, if we wanted to play around Wasteland, we could get Basic Swamp, but that's definitely not the right move here in a deck that does want double and even triple red sometimes. I wish this deck had Kroxa. This would be a very, very good Kroxa deck. Xander's Lounge, okay. Ooh, that's a little scary. Okay. Well, Mana Crypt is broken. I wish we had power. We don't have anything nearly as broken as that. It's just going to depend on what they have to do with it. If they play a turn 2 4-drop, things could go downhill fast. Duretti will not be able to even take out the Mana Crypt on turn 3, so they're going to get to make 6 mana out of this card for 0 mana. Kind of absurd. Right on time. I'm not going to be playing Expressive Iteration next turn, so I'm just going to hide the island. Okay. Probably still playing Duretti next turn, although there's an argument to dropping 2 creatures, depending on what they do. Hopefully they play Shieldred. Well, hopefully they play nothing good, but of all the 4-drop Shieldred would probably be the least scary. Looks like a Mind Twist, which is significantly worse for us. Yeah, that's bad. Okay, let's play Chandler and pass. It is Delirious, so that's good, I guess. We could play Iteration here, but especially having just gotten hit by a Mind Twist, we want to get 2 cards out of the deal. Man, we need them to lose some of these flips. Also, awesome picture. Sir Ginger, the meal ender. Okay, very happy to see them using top. Turn 2 Mind Twist for 3 into a good turn 3 is probably too much for us. And that's the thing with this deck. It's not broken. It's good, but it's not broken. And if our opponent, it's consistent and fast and interactive. But if our opponent does something that's like really powerful, then it's going to be tough for us. Okay, hopefully we can find a way to kill that. We have many in our deck. And we get 5 looks, although the first one has already bricked. Spell Pierce would make me cry. Oof, don't need a mountain. Nice. I think I'm actually taking Library of Alexandria. We already have enough black sources, so, and that could actually be nice if we ever, if they play to draw 7. So we'll go hand, bottom, exile, stomp. 2 for 1 into 2 for 1. That feels pretty good. Interesting. I think that actually is a good draw here. We have enough mana to cast it next turn too, and the stomp and the bone crusher, so that seems pretty good. Okay, interesting. Okay, so a Force of Negation, pitching, mana leak. That's kind of annoying. They can cast an iteration with the Voidwalker if they want to. Man, they won the flip again. We need to decide if we want to crack the Fiery Islet next turn. If I had known they would be Force of Negationing that, maybe I would not have kept the Dark Confidant. It's not bad for sure. It is probably an above average draw. But yeah. Oh man. I hate playing against mana card. It creates such a massive imbalance in mana. I guess it's becoming a little bit more balanced out now, but when one person has power and the other doesn't, especially Mana Crypt, which is like, 2 Moxen kind of in this situation, um, it's tough to beat. But that being said, they only have 1 card. They probably should cast an iteration off this Voidwalker if they don't find any action here. Edict to take out my Channeler. Hit for 3, okay. I think I will crack this main phase in case we find a 1-mana burn spell. Kaito, okay. Pretty good draw. Right now we are losing. Well, if they start losing Mana Crypt flips, we're winning the race. I believe they're 2-1, 2-2 now, down to 11. So we're hitting them for 3.5 a turn. They're hitting us for 3 a turn. We have enough mana to Kaito and no, we don't have enough mana to Kaito and replay Dark Confidant, unfortunately. Man. Kiki Jiki, funny. We don't have a 3rd mountain though. We'll go land Kaito plus. So they can tap this to cast any of these cards if they want to. But what I don't want is just let them kill our Kaito. Lose the flip. Alright. Now they've lost 2 out of 3, so now it's we've gotten lucky on that front. Okay, I'm gonna draw a card. Hoping to hit a red source. Okay, that's actually not bad. Not good either, but it's not bad. Let's loot away this island. The only way that we get punished for this is if we draw exactly Turok. So maybe we just loot away the library then. So we can cast a blue card if we draw it. Actually, that's not terrible. It's a third red source for next turn. Let's play this, pass. They're at 7, we're at 11, so both players are low on life. Uh-oh. Hopefully they're just spinning the top. Yeah, good. So we could threaten lethal next turn, I think. They go to 4, then we copy our Voldaren Epicure. Oh, no, we can put them to 1 on board. Oh no, we can minus this. If they don't attack the Kaito, we can minus to create a 2/2 drone, then copy the drone, and that would be lethal. Of course, it looks like they're doing something. Oh, just cycling Rafine's Tower. That's not scary. They won the flip this time, 3 and 3. Concealing curtains to take Kiki. That's funny. I mean, it's fair enough. We get Phyrexian Dragon Engine. Then they attack Kaito. Maybe. Yep. Okay. So we can plus Kaito on their thing to shut it down, and then attack the Epicure and get in another Kaito ability. So plus here. Attack. And it's nice that we get to replay this and get its end of the battlefield effect again. Okay, so we could make a 2/2 here. Could draw a card. Could even plus on the Voidwalker, actually. You know what? Weirdly, I think that actually is the right play. The only problem is then they could just cast Kiki Jiki, though. Like copy Revealing Eye. Maybe that's not as good. I don't think I want to kill off my Kaito, though. I think I'm going to draw a card. Close decision. Okay, that was not a good draw. Get the Epicure into play. Loot away. Swamp. There's a Turok, but they don't have a hand at this point. I think it's better to hold the Turok for now. So we'll go Dragon Engine, Figure. And they're 5 with a Mana Crypt, so I'm feeling pretty good now. I mean, unless it would be insane if they had their own Pestermite. They just go like, cast Pestermite, use Voidwalker, play Kiki. But outside of that, I don't really see a way they can win here unless they, like... I mean, it would require them to win a bunch of Mana Crypt flips in a row and a bunch of other stuff to happen. They could just go to 2 here easily. Well, Voldaren Epicure's been great, honestly, this league. Overperformed. Like, the looting way, it's been like almost as good as just drawing a card, these blood tokens in the late game. The damage adds up. It also creates artifacts for Daretti. Very nice with Kaito. We haven't comboed at all, but the blue splash has still been good because Kaito and Expressive Iteration have been great. It's actually wild that we still haven't seen Pestermite. There's been multiple games where we've drawn like 25 plus cards, and we still have not seen it a single time, and we're in match 3. Oh no, this is Deceiver of Dark Mana. Don't do me like that. Okay, 4 mana is fine. 6 mana is fine. Treachery, my dude, sure. And to kill Kaito. And then we don't have them dead on board. Maybe we were just supposed to plus on Voidwalker. weird. They're like spinning their wheels and not really doing anything right now. They graveyard the void, the top. Man, I was hoping we were gonna get to Torok them. Okay, it looks like we will get to Torok them, but they add yet another blocker to the board. So it's increasingly becoming difficult for us to get through on the board. Of course, they might just die to their mana crypt. And we could just draw a burn spell. We don't draw a burn spell, but we do draw a pretty good card. We can cast that and put 2 counters on it. Oh, no, we can only do 1 counter on it. So we could... Oh, that's so close to lethal. Cast Bloodthirsty Adversary. Kicked. Oh no, it only casts cards with mana value 3 or less, so it can't even cast Mind Collapse. Okay. Interesting decision then between playing Kick Torok versus go for the Adversary. Adversary is no longer a good attacker, given the situation. So we could just cast Night's Whisper to draw, but that honestly seems riskier than anything else. So I think I'm actually just going to play and kick this. Wait, what? They had a card in their hand, I thought. Did they not? Oh, whoops. They didn't. Okay, that's a little embarrassing. Alright, well, we pass. Gonna hold the Bloodthirsty Adversary so we can get value out at the end of the battlefield effect. I'm not too worried about them killing me this turn. They also might just lose the flip here. Alright, they live another turn. They can hit us for 4. They can kill us in a few turns. It wouldn't take too long. Interesting. What are they casting here? Kiki to copy Phyrexian, whatever. Okay, bit of a desperation move, but good play also, I think. This mana crypt is, I was complaining about it a lot at the beginning, but it does add up. If it wasn't for the mana crypt, we would be losing right now, and because of the mana crypt, we're winning. Of course, like, without the mana crypt, they wouldn't have mind twisted our hand immediately, and like, this Duretti could have taken over the game or something. So yeah, I still think this has net helped them. But at this stage in the game, they haven't been able to take advantage of the mana advantage to actually win. Okay, they're just spinning their wheels. We should be able to kill them here. On board, we put them to 1. Fatal push. Okay, that should be lethal. So let's go. Push. Adversary. Pay this once. Okay. So push. Adversary, push. Attack with everything. They block the adversary. Take 5. GG. So we're playing against blue-black mid-range. Honestly, I think this is actually probably a bad matchup. Great to be able to steal game 1. Also, like, is Pestermite in our deck? What is going on? It's hilarious. Okay, there we go. The bottom 5 cards. I actually don't even think I want this combo though. I know we don't have a great sideboard plan, but it's very easy for them to disrupt. This is the kind of deck where you don't want combos like this because they have so much interaction. I'm gonna bring in Yawgmoth's Will. It's bad against Voidwalker, but we have so many ways to kill Voidwalker, and it's great in the late game just as a value card. And then Burgi, another solid value card. I think Charming Scoundrel is probably not worth it. Yeah, I think we'll run it like this. Going a little bit more grindy for this matchup. While still trying to maintain a low curve. Alright, we can keep this on the strength of Faithless Looting. Gonna be leading on Channeler though. Nice. I still prefer to see a Swamp though because I want to play Dark Confidant in turn 2 if possible. Sure. That's kind of annoying. They do get some nice value, but we did draw our swamp. Never didn't have it. And then we decided if we want to just jam Bergie next turn or save up to try to cast it as a Horn of Harnfell, Horn of Bounty. Cool name. Although it sounds like a green card. Horn of Bounty. It should be like Horn of Rage or something. Horn of Excess. Okay, I'm happy to see top. They did a lot of spinning their wheels with top last turn, but I'm not convinced, or last game, but I'm not convinced that it actually did anything. I'm on the fence about jamming Bergie. If we don't draw something better to do, I don't think I want to go just like Epicure plus looting next turn. So I think I probably will play Bergie if we don't draw something good. But best case scenario is we draw like Duretti or something along those lines. And we get 2 looks if they don't kill this Bob. Which has been a great card for us all league too. There's one game in particular where he drew us like 4 lands in a row, which is great. He did flip Kiki Jiki immediately, one game. But our opponents have generally struggled to kill him, so we've been able to draw multiple cards while he's also attacking. I love this card being good in this format. I loved this card in Modern back in the day, and it's just so bad now because the entire Modern format is built to kill 1 toughness creatures with like Orcish Bowmasters, Ren 6, Fury until recently. Poor old Dark Huntfell has been left behind. But in a format where they don't have much removal, the ability is still great if you can bank on him surviving at least sometimes. Even back in the day, like Lightning Bolt's always been popular, and your Bob getting bolted has always been a bad exchange for you. But it's not terrible, whereas like your Bob getting hit by Orcish Bowmaster is just truly terrible. Look, this is so funny. They top, draw, I don't even get that. Okay, they get to top again. I'm not too worried about this. I always thought this made you lose life. That's kind of crazy. It makes you gain life. Okay. Cool removal spell. Not amazing, but like it's a weird thing where like this enchantment is not even close to being playable, like 15th pick every single time. But it is still very real value to staple onto it like a removal spell that's like almost playable. Alright, let's see what we get here. Fatal Push, not amazing. Okay, yeah, with those draws we definitely want to play the Bergie. Also, them having played Mana Crypt, that makes us care more about having bodies in play to pressure their life total. It begins. You got Surginger the Meal Ender. This is Mana Crypt, the Surginger Ender. They don't really care about this. I mean, Fatal Push answers it very effectively. If they take the push, like that's also fine. They do take the push. We hit our land. Probably gonna just iteration next turn. And Bergie could actually be pretty helpful here. The mana ability. Okay, those were not great, but we have looting, so it's fine. It's iteration. Yeah, these all cost no mana. Interesting. So we could Stomp plus Burst Lightning. Feels a little bit bad, but then we get to hit for 5. So that's probably worth it. So if that's our plan, how much mana do we need? Right now we have... So everything is discounted by 1. So Burst Lightning's free. If we do an untapped land this turn, we currently have 3. Burst Lightning's free. Epicure's free. Looting is free. Stomp would put us down to 2. But we still wouldn't have enough mana for Bone Crusher Giant. So I think, given that, we actually don't even want... We can afford to play tapped land this turn. But in case I did my math wrong, I'm still going to be careful. So, hand, bottom, exile, stomp, make another mana. Wow, I've never seen Bergie be this good in a value game, but when you have 3 1-mana red spells, it's like the absolute perfect time for it. Burst Lightning. This way we get to attack for 5. This is a big part of why we're doing this against the the Mana Crypt draw. I guess the downside of... Or no, we even can... Actually, let's looting first. Interesting. This only doubles for red spells, right? Oh no, any spell. Okay, so we can play Trapwork Mutt too. So let's discard Island, Mountain. Then we'll go Swamp, Scrapwork Mutt. I think I'm just going to discard the Lava Claw Reaches. Actually, no, we can discard the Island. That should be fine. We'll do an Epicure. And then the question is, do we want to use this last mana to loot away something with the Epicure? I think the answer is no. Although Evolved Sleeper isn't amazing. But it's also like the fact that it adds its mana neutral next turn too, I think it makes it fine. So we'll attack. Cool turn. Storm count is 6. On turn 4. So we have 6 power in play, 7, 8, no, not 6. 5, 6, 7, 8. So if they lose either of the next 2 flips, they're on a 1-turn clock. If they sweep our board, it's not great. We can rebuild somewhat though. We can go like Bone Crusher into Evolved Sleeper and get another we could put 3 threats into play next turn. So actually we can rebuild quite well. And also keep in mind the onus is on them to do something as long as they have Mana Crypt in play. Like even if they are able to fend off this onslaught, they have to win within the next few turns. Do you have Damnation? You have Kaito. That's not too scary. They can make a 2/2. Oh, they plus. Okay, sure. Do we care about the Kaito or do we just go with their face? Probably go in face. Interesting draws. I'm not going to take out their Mana Crypt. I think we want them to have Mana Crypt at this point. And I think I'm just going to ignore the Kaito and go face. And then we definitely want to play Duretti and Lava Claw Reaches here over the Bone Crusher. I'm pretty sure it's just so much better against them having removal. Okay. That life is relevant too, they take a hit. So do we want to play Bone Crusher Giant? I don't think so. I think I really want to get Lava Claw Reaches into play. They have no cards in hand too, geez. So let's go Evolved Sleeper. And I will use some of this mana to loot away a mountain. Interesting draw. Not playing it this turn though. So they need to, I mean, yeah, they're, I'm feeling good. They have a Mana Crypt in play. They could go to 2 here. I guess we're at 13 actually. We've taken some hits, but it's going to be really hard for them to come back from this. Man, I did not think this deck was that good, but it's played better than I was expecting. Our opponents have also probably done less than I was expecting, and we've drawn kind of well, and here we are on the brink of a trophy. Make a dude. So if we just animate and attack, they can block Bergie. They take 2, 4, 5, 6, more than lethal. So you need something. They're kind of close to being able to hardcast Virtue of Persistence, but that would not do it either. Okay, Brutality to kill Bob. They did not escalate, though. That's shocking and almost certainly incorrect. Okay, so What if we animate Lava Claw Reaches and attack now? Block here, take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. And they'll have a trigger on the stack that would bring them back to life, but that trigger will not have time to resolve unless they. Okay, well, I wasn't expecting them. Oh, that's pretty bad. It's not like I think we're still winning, but that's one of the worst things that they could have had for us because that can block pretty profitably. They'll still lose if they lose the Mana Crypt flip. They should block with Air They will die. They can put that on the Epicure if they want to keep their Air around, but then they go to 1. Oh, no, it would be 3. Okay. This is why we attacked this. We could. I considered leaving up the Fiery Islet to pump the Lava Claw Reaches, but it's definitely better to do it this way. So, pump this. These guys trade. These guys trade. They take 3 and gain 2. So they go to 4. We will pass. So they can survive a Mana Crypt flip here, which is good for them because they lost it. Still have 2 lethal attackers. They make another dude. Man, they're putting up a fight. What do you got? Wormcoil Engine? Okay. Oh, right, sure. They need so much here, though. Like, they still have this Mana Crypt that they need to win next turn. We have multiple lethal attackers. We can kill their blocker or remove it without killing it so they don't even get the death trigger. I was about to be amazed by our lack of oh by our lack of Pestromite, but we cut it for this match. So they messed up, they misclicked, but even it wouldn't have mattered. We would have won this either way. But so we'll go land, Kaito, plus so you can't block. Get on in there for the trophy. Feels good, baby. And once again, I did not think this deck was that good while drafting it, or like at the end of the draft. But it played really well, and I think the key is just this curve. Look at this beautiful curve. And it's even better when you can't move it at the stage, but this is a 2-drop, this is a 3-drop, this is like a 0-drop, and this is a 4. So it like really is like 8 1-drop, 7 2-drops, like 5 3-drops, or 4, like beautiful curve with like solid fixing, lots of interaction, lots of cheap threats. So I think that is what made this deck really good. The card quality is actually quite low, to be honest. Like, there's good cards, obviously. Every deck is going to have good cards, but like, what are the cards in this main deck that are like actually powerful? Mind Twist, Kiki Jiki, Fire Covenant, Duretti, like Stomp, maybe Dark Confidant, maybe Iteration, but like, none of these cards are elite cards. No one's going to look at this and be like, oh yeah, like Evolved Sleeper and Voldaren Epicure and Figure of Destiny, like, your 1-drops are sick. But that works. If you have a critical mass, you're able to curve out, be playing to the board constantly. Like, we had all these just random creatures, but we were also removing their threats and curving out. And if you're curving out and removing their yeah, I mean, that's just a recipe for success, honestly. So the main takeaway of this draft, try to play a low curve if you can, especially if you don't have the power level. If you have, like, Fractured Identity and Oko and Minsk and Boo, you can afford to play a higher curve and just like rely on the power level of your cards. But if you don't have that card quality, you need to curve out, you need to be ahead on board, you need to make them respond to you, and like that's a way you can win, even if you open cards that are not particularly strong. Who knows? Let me know in the comments if you think the Kiki Jiki plan was correct in main deck or not. We of course never used it. Kiki was fine, just as a value play in one game. It was kind of wild how difficult it was to draw this card. But yeah, really fun league. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.